you guys' MVP prediction for the 2020 season. Mike.
Who wants to go first? You want me to go first? I think Nolan Arenado is going to win the NL.
Wow. I did not expect
NL MVP.
This guy's such an Arenado homer.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
Dude is an animal. He is mad. He is mad that they keep putting him in trade talks. So I think Nolan Arenado for the NL. And I think the best... When you talk about the AL, there's only one name that comes up. And he's the best. He's the face of baseball. And Mike Trout. So I have Mike Trout winning the...
Mike Trout won it last year. Do you think that he's deserving of accolades again this year? I mean, if he has the same type of year that he had last year. Mike, pull up his stats, man. The guy's a stats machine anyway, bro. I think StatCast was made for Mike Trout. That's kind of like John Madden with Brett Favre. I love me some Mike Trout. The guy is an absolute animal.
I mean, that's what I like with baseball. I mean, with baseball, the best guy usually always, even if it's back to back, that guy could still win. It's not unlike other sports where they're
of course.
Let's give it to this guy because he hasn't really won one or not, So, yeah.
And he misses games throughout the year.
Yeah.
And still does
in the American League,
things.
There is no discussion. Mike Trout is the American League MVP.
Yeah, I want to say that the National League is kind of up for grabs, man.
Then you add Rendon right behind him.
Listen, the American League West. That's why when we were talking about I was kind of kidding when I said the Houston Astros, but American League West looks decent because the Texas Rangers aren't any slouches. The Texas Rangers, I want to say, are
they make good improvements.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And they can make an argument for most improved team.
Yeah.
The Texas Rangers, I want to say, are like the Tampa Bay Rays of the West. I mean, they always find a way to compete. I don't think they're gonna beat
Oakland too. Has been like
and Oakland is scrappy. Oakland is scrappy.
But the Rangers gave away. Well, they didn't give away. They pretty much gave a box of chocolate for Corey Kubler because the Shields is not.
Yeah, broken shoelace and chew bubblegum.
How do you give away? If you're the Rangers, you just won the lottery because you picked up a Cy Young winner and you gave away nothing. So the Rangers win that, Indians lose that. So you could also, like you said, I can see where the Rangers would be a most improved team with Mike Minor. Minor had a great season.
Mike Minor.
Yeah.
You could go on and you could see last year the resurgence of Hunter Pence. When he played with the Rangers last year,
he's back with the Giants.
He's back with the Giants, yes. But they gave him the opportunity to play, and he
showed up.
He played, and where did he play? Where did he play? Where did he turn his game around? I'm just curious to know as to whether you guys know where he turned his game around.
Do you know, Mike? Do you want me to answer it or?
You know where he turned his game around?
In the Dominican Republic,
In La Romana. Which by the way, I am not Dominican. Okay.
Okay.
But I have family in the Dominican Republic. He's kidding about that. The problem is he's got plaque psoriasis and it's really itching. Anyway, I have family in the Dominican Republic in La Romana, and I am a Toros fan. And I want to give them a big shout out. They were actually not only the champions of the Winter League in the Dominican Republic, but they were also the Caribbean Series champion.
Number 20.
Yeah, so a big shout out to them. But anyway, they gave Hunter Pence an opportunity to play for them the previous year, and Hunter Pence actually had a resurgence over there. They loved him in the Dominican Republic. He had to leave early to come and train with the Texas Rangers, which had signed him. They gave him the opportunity, and he had a pretty decent offensive year last year. And you saw the resurgence of Hunter Pence, which, by the way, one of my favorite ball players. He's a scrappy guy. He gets his hits, and he's got that weird throw from the outfield, but he finds a way to make get it done. Like I said, they're a good good, solid team, and I see them not competing for first place in the West, but being a little scrappy and doing their thing out there in the West. So you can't really leave the Texas Rangers out.
Guess I'm gonna say Mike.
Yeah, Mike Trout's a beast. Dude is close to 300 home runs. He's at 285, and he's only a year younger than me. He's 28 years old. Dude's an animal. He had 470 at bats and had 110 runs, 137 hits, 45 home runs, 104 RBIs.
That's just insane.
11 stolen bases and hit a 291 with an on-base percentage of 438.
Who hits behind Trout normally?
Wasn't he Upton? No, I think it was Upton. BJ Upton. Not BJ Upton. Justin Upton. Justin
okay.
Upton. So, yeah.
I was just thinking, he's a guy that you definitely. I mean, if you have a weaker bat behind him, like Justin Upton, that Justin Upton hasn't been as good as he has been previously. When he was with the Braves and in Arizona, you would pitch around Mike Trout to get to Justin Upton if that's the case. But even if he does get pitched around, man, the guy's got seriously solid numbers. Possibly the best player in the game. And I don't think that myself or these two guys have an argument with that. I mean, the guy is legit the best player in baseball. Don't you guys agree?
Yep.
Yeah. Who's your National League, Danny?
My National League, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say...
Caught you off guard.
Yeah, because...
It's a lot of choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ball players in the National League, man. But there's really not, no definite front runner. Cody Bellinger...
One that stands out.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mike Trout, exactly. There is no National League Mike Trout. There's only one Mike Trout, unfortunately. But the caliber of player that Mike Trout is, and he's one of Brandon's favorite players, man. You know what? I would love to see Bryce Harper fall into that category of he's already an elite player. Everybody understands that he's an elite player. So sometimes
it's always a toss up. There's always that audience. It's weird because he's one of those players that there's a lot of people that love him and a lot that hate him just to hate and don't think he's elite just because
he's a hit or miss guy. He's a hit or miss guy. You either love him or you hate him. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that the guy plays the game like it's supposed to be played. And when he's running the bases, he plays absolutely hard, man. He plays. I mean, look what happened to him with his knee. With the hyperextension of his knee running across first base. And the guy plays hard. He plays hard.
And he loves the game.
And he loves the game of baseball. He's a guy that's getting paid, but absolutely loves to play. So to be quite honest with you, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Bryce Harper.
Wow.
Because
over Yelich.
Wow.
Well, you know what?
I mean,
wow. Yeah, man. Why'd you have to do that, bro?
I just wanted to add that there.
No, yeah.
I think sometimes we forget. Even that season when Bryce had already won the MVP, I think we forget that he can have a higher ceiling than that. I personally think he can go even higher than that.
Absolutely.
I think we still have not seen the Bryce Harper at 100%.
The best Bryce Harper. Nobody's seen that. And the thing is, this guy. A lot of people fail to realize that this guy entered the league at age 20. He was a guy that has been producing since age 20. Yeah, you're gonna have your ups and downs. Jeez, you have analytics. You got advanced scouting. You have all these tools that tells everyone that loves baseball and really is involved in trying to understand just not what you see on television, but actually the business aspect of it, the scouting aspect of it, and the game catches up to you. And if you don't make adjustments, the game eats you up, spits you out, and then they'll replace you with a Dominican.
Just like that.
Just like that. It's playing a Dominican waiting to play your position, buddy. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys.
No,
but seriously, it's not a joke, though. They will replace you with a Dominican.
We're running low on a little bit of time, so I would say Pretty much what you said. So you got good guys that in the National League can compete, but now you add Mookie Betts into that.
Oh,
and you have Yelich. So I'm gonna say Nolan Arenado in first, Yelich in second, Mookie Betts if he stays healthy in third.
I was just about to say that.
You know what? I actually like the Bryce Harper pick. I think I'm gonna change originally because I love Nolan Arenado too. I think Trout is his own stratosphere, and I think second I could personally say, and I think a lot of people can agree, Nolan Arenado is probably the second.
If not a front runner.
Which doesn't get enough credit.
If not a front runner, because he's with a poop team.
Yeah, but I mean, his numbers away from Coors Field were better than being there.
But you're not going to pay attention to Nolan Arenado unless he has Yankee pinstripes on.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general.
No, yeah.
Okay, people tend to not pay attention to players.
Oh, I'm going to go watch a Rockies game.
Yeah,
which, by the way, I've been there. Great field.
We're guys that watch the game. Watch the game, whether it's we'll watch a rerun of the Cubs versus the San Diego Padres, or something like that, but the average fan, they're only gonna root for their team, unless you're a baseball fan and not a team fan, because there's a lot of people that I appreciate the support that people render to different teams, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that if the New York Mets are playing, they're not watching. Or if the Yankees are playing, they're not watching. That's like half of the Bronx. There's a lot of people in the Bronx that love the Yankees. There's a lot of people that love the Yankees because Jay-Z wears a New York Yankees cap. I mean, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? And they like the game of baseball, but they don't like it enough to consistently watch baseball outside of their favorite team. Yep. So, when it comes down to like actually recognizing a player of the caliber of Nolan Arenado, they can't because they don't watch Nolan Arenado outside of what they say on SportsCenter. Which, by the way, the guy stays on SportsCenter. The casual fan, and I hate to say that because a fan is a fan regardless, but the casual fan, really doesn't recognize the skill set of a guy like Nolan Arenado, which, by the way, is flipping amazing. He's an amazing ball player. Nolan, next year, you have to play for Puerto Rico, please. Peace!
And Stroman, too.
And Stroman, yeah, but, the way that they spoke about Stroman last time, I don't think he's going to play. Yeah. And the way that Giancarlo's been struggling, I think Giancarlo's going to end up playing for Puerto Rico, too.
Angel Pagan might come out of retirement.
And Bregman.
Alex Rios. Carlos Delgado. Alex
Bobby Bonilla.
Hey, he's still getting paid.
Carlos Delgado is one of my favorite players.
Hey, how about this one? Ruben Sierra.
Benito Santiago.
Benito.
But Danny, who do you have winning?
The Houston. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? You would definitely have to make a strong argument for the World Series being played in the Bronx and in Los Angeles.
Yes,
I think that would be the feasible thing to do right now with 3 games being played in spring training. It
pains me to say it.
I mean, who else is going to contend? Who else is going to play against the New York Yankees? I mean, obviously, with all the turmoil and stuff going on in Houston, they're not gonna have their little cheating thing in the back, so that they're toast. And then on top of that, you have to look at a Yankee team that has an extremely good bullpen, and because the Yankees are the Yankees, a lot of people don't give them the credit that they deserve when it comes down to pitching. Man, these guys have some serious pitching on that team, including that fireballer that closes games for them, in Chapman. So the legit chance for the two guys, the legit chance for the two teams. Playing, I would say, between LA and the Yankees, and
I think fans have been waiting. I think fans have been waiting a long time to see that. And
I want to say the Yankees, bro. You can't fade away from that, bro. Yeah, they're too strong. They're on paper. They're too strong. It depends on how their team holds up as far as
if Giancarlo stay healthy, Judge,
and you still have center fielder.
Hicks,
Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, but you have
really good hitter. So
You have Brett Gardner manning it up for a little bit in center field, which is a stud when he's fully healthy. Then you got
he's an old stuff,
Mike
man.
Tillman. I forget his name. I think that's it. He's also played great left field for us last year until he got hurt. Let's hope Luke Voigt can come back and have the season he had the year before.
Let's talk about your infield. I mean, you got Urshela, that's a great ball player.
But I think Andujar is going to win the third base job.
Yeah, probably.
And then you got Torres and DJ LeMahieu, which deserves a contract extension.
DJ LeMahieu is a quiet leader on that team. I want to say
he surprised me. I honestly thought he wasn't going to carry over.
DJ is he's a dangerous player. He's actually emerged to be a very good ball player. And a good asset to the Yankees. So I'm still sticking with the Yankees. I think a close second will be the Dodgers. Those guys are strong, and we have yet to see how the Dodgers and the thing is who's the starting pitching for the Dodgers? Who's the rotation?
Kershaw.
Bueller.
Bueller's their number one.
That's it. Rich Hill's
with the Minnesota Twins now.
Is he with the Twins?
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm seeing here that Madison Bumgarner has been in Rodeo Star. He's been playing.
Oh, I saw him. Yeah, he's
been
a wrangler,
competing in rodeo events under.
But click on it though. You gotta see his because these guys play under aliases or when they do stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, there's no way that there's a team that's gonna sign Madison Bumgarner if they know that the guy is out there on a flipping horse.
Yeah.
Rustling cattle and stuff. In rodeos.
The Giants should have traded him last year and got something in return.
Yeah, I think
which was so dumb.
I think they bet it on themselves.
They should have fired. They should fire the GM for something like that. That's like for not firing. Let's go to the NBA for a minute when they didn't trade Anthony Davis for nothing.
The guy won three. The
guy
won 3 World Series with the
years.
Still could trade him for a piece.
Understood, but where are the San Francisco Giants going?
No, but that's how you rebuild your team by picking up good prospects.
Okay, understood. But how many prospects do you think a team's going to give for a guy like Madison Bumgarner?
The Yankees were willing to get trade for him. They could have got something better than what they got. Something's better than nothing.
Bro, listen,
they got
it has to make sense. Because the thing is, you have a good trade chip. Okay, you have a good trade chip in Madison Bumgarner, but it has to make sense because you can't just be like, well, I'll give you X, I'll give you prospect X and prospect Z for Madison Bumgarner, and they're like, well, this guy is legit our franchise player. He is our franchise player. Yeah. He is the most recognizable face of that team when they're walking downtown in San Francisco. Yeah. So everybody knows who. Why do you think that report came out of him being in a rodeo? Because somebody recognized who Madison Bumgarner was at the rodeo, took a picture of him, and sold it to TMZ for $20,000 or something like that. I don't know. I don't think it was TMZ, but anyway.
Well, let's go back. We're running low on time, so let's run back. So you got Dodgers, Yankees. I got Dodgers, Yankees, and I got Yankees winning it in 5.
Come on, man.
That's my prediction.
I don't think it's gonna be.
You heard it here on the Hot Corner.
All right. So my take is, I think it is gonna be Yankees Dodgers. I think those teams are just leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. But I'm going to have to take the Dodgers in 6 games and are going to win in Yankee Stadium. And Yankees, again, are going to be upset.
Bro,
but this time it ain't going to be for cheating.
I might as well just say that the Miami Marlins are going to be in the World
I'm sorry. I can't say it. It can't come out of my mouth. It's like...
What, the Miami Marlins are going to be in the World Series?
No, the Yankees are going to...
It hurts.
Oh, God. Come on, man. Hey, listen.
Are going to blank the World Series.
You can't let your pride, bro. You cannot let your pride kick you in the rear end, bro. Bro, I'm not a Yankee fan. And I was one of the first people that rejoiced that I was doing backflips. Not really. When Josh Beckett tagged Jorge Posada, in that game 6 in 03 for us to win the World Series. Bro, but you got to be realistic too, man. Yeah. The New York Yankees are a juggernaut, and they're gonna stay that way unless injuries get in the way, or an earthquake hits New York City. That's the only way. It's gotta be.
No, but I'm kidding. I think if I had to put my money, Yankees.
Yeah,
I think Vegas.
Vegas. You know what? Is there any way before we leave? Stop touching things that aren't yours. Can we see what Vegas odds are for who do they have as a before we go? Who do they have as a front runner for the World Series?
I am Vegas.
I think Vegas was -4. I think. Yeah, in the total odds. So New York is first. What a shocker! Dodgers second. Houston third.
Is that Vegas odds?
Yeah. It's got the Braves. The Braves will not be making the second round of playoffs. I'm calling it now over the Mets. The Mets are going to be closer than the Braves.
I don't know, bro. The Mets always have a way of screwing it up.
Yes.
Houston has nobody after Verlander.
There's a phrase. They're the Mets.
I'm intrigued to see this new manager work, man. Because he's a
Luis Rojas?
Yeah, I mean, he's a relative unknown. And a lot of people know who he is, and actually, that's the way it should be. You should promote from within. Mm-hmm. You see the guys that are doing a good job in your minor leagues. Give them a shot at the big league team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why recycle all these guys that are getting fired? Like for instance, look, I love Dusty Baker. I love the guy he's done a lot of good for the game of baseball. And he played baseball, and it was a good ball player, good solid ball player. Why are they bringing Dusty back?
He got fired for no reason, though. He got fired from a team that he brought to the second round of the playoffs with the Nationals. If they didn't produce, he put the right pieces in place.
Okay.
If you don't produce, he can't go out there and play.
Okay.
So, I mean...
But listen, the whole point here is that he got fired for whatever reason it was. Your boy.
It comes down for what moves the manager chose to make during the playoffs in critical positions.
Exactly. Your boy Joe Girardi. You love Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi is a great coach.
He's a great man.
But his problem is that he's not a yes man, and that was his problem. And I want to say it and put it out publicly. The unfortunate truth is that he refused to be or no longer be a yes man with the Yankees, which is the reason why they got rid of him. And Aaron Boone is, he's got that bobblehead move going. I mean, I'm not saying he's a decent coach, but the man is a better yes man than Joe Girardi. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it comes down to doing what you're supposed to be doing. Versus actually doing what the organization wants you doing, and there's a difference when you have pieces together and you still can't do it. And I'm talking about Girardi now. You got pieces together and still can't do it, and then refuse to do something organizational wise, that is going to be detrimental to the team, versus being a yes man and still getting there. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, you gotta realize, man, the Yankees surround themselves with people that know the game,
and they haven't bought in anything. By the way,
they are the Yankees, man. You have to trust the process. But Joe Girardi sometimes doesn't know how to put his pride to the side, man, and that's why he found himself without a job. Now he won Manager of the Year his rookie season as a manager with the Marlins, but. Just it just found it tough to be a yes man, and sometimes I get it. There are things that you have to make your stand on, but at the same time you have to understand that there's a chain of command. You know what I'm saying? And you can't call all the shots. But I'm glad you got a job with the Phillies, man, and I think that they're definitely going to improve.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we all have the Yankees winning.
That's it. Yankees.
Yep, Yankees.
You can put it on the board.
Yes.